people have to understand why it's not a sign of weakness. In fact, in your it's a sign that you've achieved your position. But we can do that in the press cons and other forums. But if you do it kasi here, walang chance yung prosecution to rebut that. Or if they do, it's one rebutting the other rather than the witness standing. So
Kasi naman daw, napakita na daw ng defense yung video kung saan siya ay crying and complaining. So observations na po yun ni Atty Kapunan, hindi po siya ang witness. Hindi po siya ang dapat nagsasabi sa judges na crying and complaining yung isang testigo. Trabaho
When
po
Senator
ng-
Pia said that I was giving my opinion on the video about Attorney Lopez crying and complaining, that was not an opinion. Because the video really, it was a statement of fact. The
Kung meron
video yung
kayong
gustong sabihin, yung mga opinion nyo, yung mga conclusions nyo, yung mga manifestations nyo, don't say it in the impeachment court. Say it outside. Say it through your spokesperson. Say it. My personal view here, and what I say, please do not blame management, please do not blame the public prosecutors, but I would like to say that when we talk about balance, and when we talk about impartiality, I guess that same standard should apply not only to the prosecutors, not only to the defense, but to the senator judges. This is not to say that we are saying that they are biased. We are saying that we have to have a balance also.
Enzo Recto, kalaban ang katiwalian at kasinungalingan, kakampi sa katotohanan at kabutihan.
Any such manifestations on the withdrawal or change or on the withdrawal of their witnesses, to kindly limit it to the withdrawal of such witnesses, and it applies to both sides,
Thank
both
you,
the
Your Honor.
prosecution and the respondent side, should that time come on the part of the respondent. So ordered. Any other matters to be taken up?
Thank you, Your Honor. None from the defense, Your Honor.
So,
Quick manifestation, Your Honor.
Do you have anything?
I'm sorry.
Quick manifestation, Your Honor.
Yes.
Just to respond to the manifestation of the defense.
Yes, the Honorable Luis.
Nais ko lamang pong ipaalala sa ating mga kababayan, this is a constitutional process. This is of paramount of importance. And therefore, providing the reasons for the withdrawal of these witnesses need to be communicated as well to the viewing public, Your Honor. Kailangan pong maintindihan ng ating mga kababayan ang naging hakbang ng prosekusyon kung bakit wini-withdraw ang mga pangalan ng ibang testigo para sa Artikulo 4, and that is the threat. That is for the record only, Your Honor.
Noted. Court already made a ruling. Senator Judge Cayetano.
Mr. Senate President, Mr. Presiding Officer, I agree with you both, and there's a solution to that. Let me start by I agree with the defense. Actually, I was going to stand up yesterday, but with all due respect to a good lawyer, Atty Kapunan, and to the fact that my seatmate, Senator Miggs, was very proud of her, saying that she's his ninang, I did not stand up anymore. The problem with explaining why you're withdrawing is actually you are feeding to the court something they did not testify to, and then something the defense cannot object to. So, and if it is a proffer or a tender, it is clear to everyone, in-exclude yun. Kaya ko nga lang nilalagay. But tama naman si Senate Presiding Officer, it's akin, it's not the same. But dun kasi sa tender, nag-ruling eh. So it's very clear to us it's unacceptable, di ba? So after the very eloquent manifestation of Attorney Kapunan yesterday, if I was a layman, I would think what you said, whether it was the agent John Mark, whether it was the second witness sa NBI, was true. Kasi parang may summation. The same thing with you, the very able lead prosecutor and chairperson of the House Committee on Justice, di ba? Having said that, I agree with you, this is impeachment court, people have to know why. But I think we've been very lenient. No one except the spokesperson has spoken about the sub judice rule. So you can actually explain it in the press con afterwards, if I may, no? Because nga, I was also observing yesterday and I was saying, kung ako yung defense, dadagdagan ko na yung witness ngayon at every time we withdraw, may chance akong explain bakit wini-withdraw, then reinforce kung ano yung sinabi nung before. So I understand you completely, ma'am. People have to understand why it's not a sign of weakness. In fact, in your it's a sign that you've achieved your position. But we can do that in the press cons and other forums. But if you do it kasi here, walang chance yung prosecution to rebut that. Or if they do, it's one rebutting the other rather than the witness standing. So if I may offer that solution, Mr. Presiding Officer.
As ruled by the presiding officer, henceforth, that will no longer be allowed.
And I just need to put this on record kasi nga, sinasabing wag tayo masyadong technical. Pero, to a certain extent, kailangan naman ho natin tingnan naman yung rules natin kasi, maayos ho tayo, di ba? So, I want to read into the record. This might be a paraphrase na nung sinabi niya ha, kasi sinasummarize namin ng team ko yung statements. And anyway, di ko na mahanap sa phone ko dahil kahapon pa yon. But I recall, no, and feel free to correct me, but this is a minor thing naman. Parang dinescribe niya kung bakit hindi na daw papupuntahin si Attorney Lopez kasi naman daw napakita na daw ng defense yung video kung saan siya ay crying and complaining. So observations na po yun ni Attorney Kapunan. Hindi po siya ang witness. Hindi po siya ang dapat nagsasabi sa judges na crying and complaining yung isang testigo. Trabaho po yun ng abogado na i-elicit yun dun sa witness na mapipresenta doon. So yun po yung reason kung bakit hindi ho pwede yun. We're not being technical, but neither of the lawyers here are allowed to stand up and be the one to explain what you are experiencing. That is for the witness to do. Your job is to ask the witness questions. Yun. So to be clear, it's not being technical, but it's making sure that magawa niyo yung trabaho niyo na maayos at magtanong tayo ng maayos sa witnesses. Kung di na pala siya papupuntahin, di no need na to say kung ano yung na-observe. Kasi nga, hindi na ho sa inyo yon as lawyers. Yun lang naman po. Again, my utmost respect for Attorney Kapunan and to all of you. You're all doing a great job. Like I said, once in a while, we will be called out. Even I tell the presiding officer, call me out pag sumobra ako, pag medyo nag-exceed tayo ng authority natin, because we're all just trying to do our jobs here. So thank you again, everyone, for your time and patience. Thank you, presiding officer.
Can I just add to your question, Iho?
May I just give emphasis dun sa dahilan na na-point out ni Attorney Kapunan kahapon, no? Tatlong mahahalagang salita ang binitawan niya kahapon sa kanyang manifestation. Surplusage, kalabisan, redundancy, paulit-ulit, lack of necessity, hindi na kailangan. And this represents the reason why we withdrew some of the names or 5 names from the list of prosecution witnesses. And I reiterated that in my manifestation because indeed, kapag nakita mo na hindi na kailangan, kalabisan na at paulit-ulit na, like what she said, we should know when to stop.
Yes, idadagdag ko lang, no. Why no longer meron tayong kasabihan na the thing speaks for itself. When Senator Pia said that I was giving my opinion on the video about Attorney Lopez crying and complaining, that was not an opinion. Because the video really, it was a statement of fact. The video showed, our video, which was used by the defense as its own witness, showed Attorney Sulaika crying. That was not my opinion, it's a factual statement. It also showed her complaining about her alleged violation of human rights. So just to correct with due respect, what were inaccurate statements, they were not opinions, they were just statement of fact from the video presented. Secondly, why not the psychiatrist? Because again, the video of all the many videos, even the 7 timestamps which were shown to show the emotional tirade kung paano mag-respond ang isang vice president, her emotional outbursts, her tendency to use expletives, no, to use very well, you know what word she used, no? They by themselves do not require any expert witness to testify. When a person says or reacts that way, do you need a psychiatrist or psychologist to interpret when what you see is by itself self-explanatory? Hence, there's no need to get a psychiatrist or a psychologist to explain what all of you saw, what the whole nation saw. Yesterday and even before yesterday. The sheriff, why the sheriff? Because the sheriff, as Chairman Jinky, the sheriff would have been presented to show the violent tendencies. And you saw the violence, maybe not in actions, but in intention and in the way she expressed herself. When she said, "Pupugutan ng ulo," she said this. Now, do you need, and that's exactly what the sheriff would have attested to, the violent tendencies of the Vice President, which again, as also our chairman, our Kong Noy said, were adequately shown by our earlier witnesses. So, I think it is not fair to the prosecution to surmise that we are overly, parang umaatras na kami, that we are too much limiting. We are limiting the number of witnesses, but understand that limiting the number of witnesses has its own purpose. Because when you have so many witnesses and you open the door to cross-examination, lengthy, useless cross-examinations, you will confuse the public. So you will see eventually why, the reasons why we had did this. As I said yesterday, we submit. We have to appreciate the wisdom of our public prosecutors. And there. Yun lang po. The testimony of what you've seen, just to summarize, why is it complete? Kasi the first witness, you will recall, was technical, went into authenticity, went into provenance, but could not testify on content of the video. The second witness, Attorney Lotok, testified as head of the Cybercrime Division on the content. Now, the third witness, in response to why only 3 witnesses, would have completed the whole cycle. Maraming tanong kay Attorney Lotok, ano nang nangyari? And he would say, dahil meron pang ibang division ng NBI na nagtuloy ng investigation. So, panoorin niyo na lang sa Tuesday, and I'm sure you will conclude, as we have, that with the presentation of Attorney Matibag, the whole picture, the whole narrative will be clear not only to the prosecution, but to you in media and to our people, na kumpleto na ang narrative with the presentation of our last witness. And I'd just like to emphasize and for you to think about statement of one of the senator judges who said, "Don't say it here." Kung meron kayong gustong sabihin, yung mga opinion nyo, yung mga conclusions nyo, yung mga manifestations nyo, don't say it in the impeachment court. Say it outside. Say it through your spokesperson. Say it. My personal view here, and what I say, please do not blame management. Please do not blame the public prosecutors. But I would like to say that when we talk about balance And when we talk about impartiality, I guess that same standard should apply not only to the prosecutors, not only to the defense, but to the senator judges. This is not to say that we are saying that they are biased. We are saying that we have to have a balance also. Because when the senator judges make a manifestation, wala po kaming karapatan mag-object. Until, if the other side, for instance, if the other side, the defense, where prosecutors makes an objection or makes a statement, pwede namin sabihin misleading, Your Honors. Pwede namin sabihin vague, pwede namin sabihin confusing, pwede namin sabihin objection, etc. No? Sadly, we cannot say the same. We do not have the same right to say that when it is the senator judges who make their own manifestations, who make their own opinions, who make their own conclusions of law and of fact as well. So, speaking for myself, if there is a call for balance, we're throwing back that call as well. Because I think hindi tama yung we will keep quiet in court and then sa labas na lang kami magsasalita. No, it is the right to information that we are here talking about. And as Chairman Jinky has said, this is a constitutional process. This is not the rules of court where technical rules are applicable. And hindi naman tama na it is outside court that will make manifestations through our spokesperson. Our very able Attorney J, I think, will have something to say about that.
Just very quickly.
Bunyog, bunyog, halikan na kasama ka. Bunyog, kapag buklod ay may pag-asa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, isa ang pananaw. Sa bagong Pilipinas ang bunyog isisigaw. Bunyog,